go off my
You
phone.
want to use his gavel?
Yeah, I know her. Does he have a
Go ahead.
He brought
Robert.
in, he brought in his.
Show Karina your gavel.
10 pounder in there.
What?
Show Karina your gavel.
Oh, mayor's got a gavel? I got a gavel. We're gonna bang gavels, we'll bang them.
You are on Facebook?
Lisa.
What'd you say?
She said we're on Facebook.
And there we are. Good evening. We would like to call the Holbrook City Council meeting to order for October 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Everybody is in attendance except for Councilwoman Pacheco, who is excused. She might be coming in late. She wasn't sure. So, we'd like to start the night with a Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilwoman Ferguson, followed by an invocation by Vice Mayor Nelson. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Father in heaven, we're so grateful to be gathered here today representing the people of Holbrook. Please help us to keep thy commandments and thy peace in mind as we strive to make decisions that will benefit our community. Bless those in our community that are mourning. Bless those that have encountered tragedy in their lives. They'll be comforted. Help us that we can remain peaceful and go forward. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Item number 4, consent agenda. This is for the October 8th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, also the October 8th, 2025 work session minutes. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, edits? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we pass the minutes as published
I'll second.
for both.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any last minute discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, call to the public for non-agenda items.
There are none.
Item number 6, call to the public for agenda items.
There are none.
Right, moving on to item number 7, we're gonna take a motion to go into a public hearing for the proposed changes to the Holbrook tax code. Do I have a motion to go into a public hearing?
I move that we go into a public hearing.
A second. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Anybody have any comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. So this public hearing is in regards to the proposed changes to the Holbrook tax code pursuant to ARS sections 9-499.15 and 42-6054. The proposed changes will amend the town tax code to include a TPT transaction privilege tax rate increase on the hotel classification from 3% to 5%, and the additional tax on transient lodging classification from 2% to 5%. So with that, we'd like to open the floor to the public. Is there anybody here in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of this proposed change?
I think I have a couple of questions.
If you want to come up to the podium, thank you.
I just want to know what the difference in the two are. I don't understand why there's an increase from 3% to 5% and then an increase from 2% to 5%.
That is a good
What?
question. We'll let
So the
manager.
Model City tax code has a TPT rate, and then there's also a transient rate, a transient lodging rate. When you adopt the lodger's tax code at the first part of it, that's 3%. Across all board, our TPT for the city of Holbrook is 3%. So when we adopted that model city tax code on transient lodging, that was also 3% TPT. Then you're also allowed to include additional pieces on that city tax code. And we have included that, and that's where that 2% comes in. So we are recommending to change both of those to 5%.
So what's the difference between the transient and the TPT, I think was...
So it's basically the same. It's basically the same thing. Arizona everybody calls it a sales tax license, but in Arizona, it's a transaction privilege tax. So everybody calls it a sales tax, but basically it's a tax on the privilege for those goods or services. So our standard rate for TPT is 3%. There's also that local option of 3% on transient lodging.
So just to clarify for the benefit of everybody, doesn't affect all the other sales tax for any other retail businesses in town.
Correct.
It's strictly just for lodging.
Just lodging.
Okay, so will lodging go from 5% to 10%? Will motels actually go up to the 10% increase?
They will. That's what this
Because
is.
this is gonna hit, both of those is gonna affect hotels.
Correct.
So we're not just raising them from 3% to 5%, just not a 2% increase. It's going to double
Correct.
It's from 5% to 10%.
5% to 10%.
So if a hotel room's $100,
3% to 10%.
the tax will go from $5 to $10, right? And so instead of being $105, it'd be $110.
Okay.
Correct.
The total increase is 5%, because it was 5% before.
No, but then you're hitting them twice.
Well, it was 5% total.
Prior, yes.
2 and 3 will go to 5 and 5.
Correct.
Two will go up to 5, and the other 2% will go up to 5.
Right.
So they'll be paying 10%.
No, it'd be 3%
more.
to 5%, and then 2% to 5%,
Okay. Which is
For a total of 5%.
10%.
for a total of 10%,
Yes.
correct.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you. No, we appreciate the clarification, so. All right. So for now, this is for the audience. Is there anybody else in the audience, in the public, that would like to speak on behalf of the proposed changes to the Holbrook tax code? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a motion to close out the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. We do appreciate the public coming and asking questions, so. All right, with that, we'll go on to item number 8, old business, which is the same ordinance. So this is the ordinance 25-08. This is our second reading. 2 weeks ago, we read the first reading. We had some discussion about this. So I will go ahead and just read a little bit more in the history again, which is the city currently has a tax rate of 3% with an additional rate of 2% on lodging. Many cities around the area, specifically tourism-based cities, have increased their lodging taxes to 5% and their hotel rates to 5% to generate more income for capital projects. This would be a great way to fund a new swimming pool and road projects. Increased revenues are estimated to be about $646,000. This amount will help the city secure funding for new swimming pool and road improvements. So just for some clarification, I'll read the ordinance again in a minute here too. But for clarification, for tonight only, we are only voting on the proposed things. We will, if we decide to move forward on this tax, we won't have the discussion tonight on how we use that funding. We will have a work session on it. We'll go over our strategic plans. There's been some other potential options that have popped up in the last 2 weeks that might be able to be discussed at a work session. So for tonight, but we won't need a work session if it's not passed. So we need to, before we have any discussions on what to use the money for, we need to have the money available to do that. So with that, I'll open the floor for any council members, and we'll just go one by one if there's any questions. Actually, I'll go ahead and read it by ordinance here, just so I have that. Not the resolution, first we'll do that next. All right, ordinance number 25-08, an ordinance of the City of Holbrook, Arizona, amending the city tax code to the transaction privilege tax rate on the selected tax classifications below, providing for severability and designating an effective date of January 1st, 2026. So does anybody need me to read the whole thing?
No.
Okay, good. All right, do we have any questions, comments, concerns?
Did
Yes.
we find out if this was gonna affect Airbnbs?
Yes,
we
if
get a
it's
tax
short term,
from
that's
Airbnb?
short term lodging, yeah.
So do we get taxes currently from the
We will,
Airbnb?
Yes.
How do we get those?
It's all through business licensing, and then they pay it through the Department of Revenue.
Councilman Black, did you have it?
Yes, do we get these from the motels that went from renting their motel rooms by the night?
Not necessarily, because if they are not doing short lodging no more,
That's right.
and they won't be.
So, another question, Mayor, you said that we can't discuss how we're gonna spend this money. Where do you see that in here?
So the agenda item is to vote on this particular ordinance. The discussion last week led to some potential projects. This is not the appropriate time to pick those projects. That'll be a work session. If we're talking about going to bond, we're gonna wanna go get some public input. And so it'll be a longer discussion than that. So tonight's agenda item is strictly the ordinance of do we increase this tax?
I think that how we're gonna spend it has bearing on whether we wanna pass this or not.
Well,
Well, do you wanna have a work session before we do this?
I do.
we could table it to try to do that. So that could be a potential motion.
I mean, we all gotta be on the same page. We all gotta know what we're doing, right? It would be nice.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
On those motels, are they zoned as motels
No,
still?
that was the whole reason why we had a work session last time, was
For zoning.
to try to help Barbara on how we're going to address that, because none of the businesses down that area are zoned properly necessarily.
So those
So-
motels that were there for years were never zoned as
So,
motels?
They were
so we
zoned
gotta be
as
careful,
motels.
again, this is one of these, this is turning into more of a
They were
zoning discussion.
zoned as motels
So,
and not.
in regards to
Okay.
this tax, if we can bring it back to the agenda item, which means, hey, cause I've had the same concern. Are we gonna gain or lose this largest tax off of those motels? Is that the direction you're going with that?
We already lost it.
We have.
We have. So, although we're gonna talk about that tonight under the Aldridge Consulting, so technically they should still be paying, cause they are technically still zoned as a motel. Even though they're operating illegally, they're still required, in my book, to follow the law, so. They should be held accountable to this TPT tax, and I think this city needs to figure out a way to make sure we are still getting compensated for it, because they are zoned as short-term rentals.
And so how long have we lost those taxes from those? I mean, years. Can we not get back taxes from them? If they.
Again, we gotta be careful.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
No, I mean, it's a
We
great
can-
question.
We can present that to the Department of Revenue and the auditors and have them audited.
Well, I think that's something that we need to do. I mean, but I guess we let them do it.
No, so we'll bring this topic back up in the Aldridge, so we will put it on the agenda, it'll be just agenda item number. Oh, is it not on here anymore?
It is. It is. Right here, B, 9B.
Oh, 9B, thank you, the contract with Albert, so we'll be talking about it there.
Okay.
So, because that's what their job is to do, after that. So,
Okay.
so I'm not trying to stop anybody, we're just trying to make sure we're staying on topic here.
So right now, what I'd like to do is make a motion to table this until we can all have a work session on this, to where we all know all the facts before we even try to pass this.
Okay, we have a motion, but we'll table that for a second because we're not ready to make a motion. I'm gonna let everybody have a chance to
That's fine.
say their piece first, and then we'll open the floor for a motion. Anybody else have any comments about this tax? I'll go ahead and say, I'm completely for it. Like I said, as 2 weeks ago, we discussed this in a little more length. The city of Holbrook, we need some help financially, and this is one way to do it that doesn't tax our citizens. I go on vacation, I just got off an extended vacation, and everywhere I went, when I got there, they're like, hey, we need another $13. Once I even, I had already prepaid a lot of it, but once I got there, I had to pay, another $7 here, another $13 here for their city tax and things like that. And we just paid it, because we're there, it's the same city, we weren't gonna change cities, even if we changed hotels in that city, it was gonna be the same price wherever we went. And they didn't impact us at all. And I think most tourists are the same. This is just the cost of lodging, it's everywhere, but I think this is a great way to find revenue. We need to find some quality of life, and I think a work session will be the next thing that we do, is say, okay, we've got this, but let's really take some time to do it. But I don't want to do a whole bunch of work sessions, and then in the end we vote it down, then it was kind of a waste of all our time. And so, I would like to see us go ahead and just pass it tonight, get it started so we can get that money coming in come January. Because we'll need that money. We've got so many different things coming up and projects. We got infrastructure. We know once a month we're getting a text from Mr. Sullivan saying, hey, there's another water break somewhere, right? So some of this money can go for infrastructure. Some of it can go for tourism. Some of it can go to a pool. But that's what we'll sit down in that strategic planning session and say, okay, we have this. Now we can go back to the people with the got a loan, or maybe there's other potential projects we want. And we're like, okay, we're bringing in an extra $600,000. How much of a loan can we get, or how much of a bond can we get based off that price? So there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes, and I would like to see us just move forward. I'm tired of just talking. I'm ready to see some action. So
I thought you said we were getting off topic if we discussed how we want to do it. And you just discussed what it would be good for. Do you want me to tell you my side of it now, or do we want to wait for a work session like I suggested?
So
There's pros and cons to both sides of
There
this,
is.
and we all have our opinions. And so I think we need to voice our opinion. If we want to do it in a work session, I'm totally game. But I'm just saying,
no, we appreciate
I
it.
do
You
not
gave your
want to
opinion.
go halfway on this with everybody not knowing all the facts.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your opinion. Now they've heard mine. Now we'll open it up to hear any other opinions. So.
I did do some research about other cities and towns. I really looked at the ones that were kind of comparable to the city of Holbrook, because there are, you know, obviously we can't compare ourselves to Maricopa County or Pima County, Phoenix, those types of places, but this is something that's been a common theme. The city of Thatcher, the city of Maricopa, which is not Maricopa County, it's just a separate city, a suburb of the Phoenix area, have all passed a similar resolution to increase their tax rate in the same way. I'll likely support it, but I also don't think that it's bad to decide ahead of time what we're going to earmark the money for it either. And if we're not looking at it going into effect until January, I don't know why it can't wait until a work session.
So it'll be 60 days after we approve it. So it'll go into, which is fine. If that's the consensus, I'm good either way.
But I have another question, please.
Yes.
Randy made the comment that he had called the league and then called several cities around us, trying to find out what they were doing. I'm just wondering, which cities did you call?
I was working with Mark Reeder on Stifle, and then I talked to Lee Grafstrom and Renee Guillen from the league, and they're the ones that brought up other cities. So mainly Williams was a key one, because of how small Williams is and how they've been able to utilize the money for things like this.
But you didn't contact Winslow, Snowflake, Pine Top, St. John's.
No, I did not.
Okay, I did.
Because to me, we're not necessarily those kind of guys. Winslow might have been close to us, but
Pine Top.
they don't have the park like we do, and the tourism base that we do.
Shoto?
So he said he didn't call them. So
I know, but
So,
anyway,
okay, so
that's why I'm saying
that's fine.
we need to, let's have a work session, we get all hammered out, and if people still want to do it, then do it.
Okay. Thank you for that. So any other?
Keep in mind too, if you guys do table this, then we will have to start the process all over again. We'll have to start the ordinance all over, the posting all over, to make sure we meet those deadlines.
Okay. No, we appreciate that. So, all right. Any other comments, questions, concerns, opinions? Okay. I'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion that we table, let me get the right one here. Measure thing, make a motion that we table the ordinance 25-08 to discuss in a work session, so that we all have the same, we come around with it. Anyway, I make a motion that we table this.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Nay. You a nay? So we're at 3-3. So and our city's not here.
Who voted aye?
So Robert,
To table?
to table it, so Roxy and Robert, do you want me to call her?
Terry, Roxy, and Robert?
Do you want me to call her Arsenio or just?
No, she's not at the meeting, so.
All right, so motion does not pass. We can have another motion, it may end the same, we could try it again. I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance number 25-08 as stated. Is there a second? Got a second? Any discussion?
Okay, if we were to pass this, some time ago, we went and did 5 things that we wanted to focus on, strategic planning, those 5 things. And so if we have a work session, then those 5 things should be our main focus
And that's what we'll
for
discuss.
this money.
That's what we'll discuss at the work session, if that's what we want to allot that money to, or keep the budget as item. But that's what we'll discuss at the work session, if that's direction. Or like I said, there might have been, there's a new proposal potentially on the table that we'll propose when we have more information on that too. But that is what the work session would do. So this would just get us going, like I said, till January.
And this is kept separate in that lodger's tax fund, so every year we do the budget, we discuss those monies.
So the lodger's tax fund is mainly spent for infrastructure, tourism, things that attract tourists to our city.
Well, how come we keep going on input on this? And if we're gonna discuss, let's discuss it.
She's asking questions. We're not, that's a conversation that took 60 seconds versus a work session, we'll be here for hours.
I'm
So-
saying, if we want to pass this, I want everybody on the council to know what we're passing. I don't want
Well,
to get
I
into a
know-
work session and say, well, we passed it, now how are we gonna spend the money? I don't want that to happen. I want
Why do we
everybody
need
to
to
know
make a decision how we're gonna spend the money?
that comes in
Right,
the work
tonight,
session.
yeah. And that could honestly be 6 months before we come to that conclusion, but in the meantime, that money is gonna be accumulating, and then so when we're ready to go, we've got money to go, and then we're not 6 months behind. So, did you have a comment?
I agree with Kathleen also that if we can just get it going and we have our work session and then we can hash out everything instead of trying to hash out everything and maybe having one work session and then another and then we're behind the,
Well, here's
And
my
we may
point.
not even
And then
pass
you-
it.
yeah, and
You
it may
guys
not
do
even
whatever you want,
pass.
but I've had ex-mayors, I've had ex-councilmen, I've had people from Holbrook tell me, why do you guys want to mess with one of the best things we've got going, one of the only things we've got going for Holbrook? Why are you guys messing with this?
I wish they were here to talk about it, so
Well, I
we can
wish
hear
they
the.
were too, but
So-
they're not.
So,
Well, and I'm personally comfortable, I'm probably going to vote yes for it. I'm personally comfortable switching my vote today to support Kathleen's motion, to get this resolved so it's not put off.
And I agree, because, I mean, we need some income coming in. We don't have the businesses like Winslow does, and Sholo does, and Lakeside, and Pine that have that business that brings more taxes into their towns. We don't have that here. This is about all that we have. I mean, we're getting some businesses, but we don't have them like Winslow and all those places do. So we have to get some revenue, something.
And most of the, if they could have come here to the public hearing to talk about it or to oppose it, and all of the motels are not, the only one that is home base is me, I think, and the rest is just people that don't care about Holbrook.
and to Councilman Black's point earlier, he said Winslow didn't do it, but Winslow actually has taxed their citizens, and they just renewed that tax too. They have a separate fund that goes into it, and so what I like about this tax is not taxing our citizens.
Right.
So they do have a different revenue source, a different tax. They're not taxing their workers, but they're taxing their citizens. So,
So basically, this does not surprise me that you guys want to pass this without knowing all the facts.
we know
This
the
is
facts.
basically, no, you don't.
You're out of line for. Well, you are. You can't, sit there and say we don't understand.
You don't.
So that's your opinion. We disagree with.
I have the
that,
facts.
so-
You want to keep going on this?
Okay.
You wanna keep
So,
going?
please, we'll have order. So, all right. So we have a motion and a second. We're for further discussion. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All right, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Nay.
Vice Mayor Nielsen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack,
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tafoya,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Motion passes. Thank you. So as we do discuss this, like we said, it won't be a discussion taken lightly. We will get public input, and we'll talk about our strategic plans and things like that. So we have some work ahead of us, but I like this council doesn't shy away from work, so I appreciate that. So
Can you make it an all-day work session?
just for you. Let's do a retreat
With
somewhere.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Don't
And
tease me.
snacks provided by Terry.
Exactly. So. All right. Item number 9, new business. So this is to adopt the resolution 25-29 to increase the TPT. So this goes along with this one. And so to clarify, is you have to have an ordinance, and then whenever there's a fee involved, there's a resolution. And so I'll read the resolution. It says resolution number 25-29. A resolution of the City of Holbrook, Arizona, declaring as a public record that certain document filed with the city clerk and entitled the 2025 tax amendments to the tax code of the City of Holbrook. Be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the City of Holbrook, Arizona, that certain document entitled the 2025 tax amendments to the tax code of the City of Holbrook, 3 copies of which are on file in the office of the city clerk, is hereby declared to be a public record, and said copies are ordered to remain on file with the city clerk. And so, do I have a motion to pass resolution number 25-29?
I move that we pass resolution number 25-29.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Nay.
Vice Mayor Nielsen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack,
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tafoya,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, item number B, resolution number 25-31, contract with Aldridge Consulting. So this is what I was referring to a minute ago. So a little background and discussion. It says the city has used services in the past to help educate taxpayers while also increasing collections. Aldridge Consulting has worked with the city during this last year, and it's time to renew. Staff is recommending another 1-year term for their service. So it costs us $18,000 for the consulting, but with a target to collect $250,000 in return. The last contract, so last year when we contracted with them, they actually collected an additional $163,000. So this is exactly what you're talking about, Councilwoman Tafoya. It's like, how do we go after some of these businesses? So the city doesn't go after them specifically, but we can make the IRS aware of certain businesses that we may think are not paying their due taxes. And so, but since city staff doesn't have the means to go do that, we hired last year Aldridge Consulting to go do that. And so, but there was a lot. So I'm not sure how far they got with the city of Holbrook, but they were able to collect at least $163,000 additional dollars for us that would have gone untaxed. Manager Sullivan, do you want to add to this background?
Yeah, no, that basically that's it. I was gonna pull, I believe they audited 15 different businesses, within a year, and we found $163,000 in additional revenues. They expect to be pretty close to the same thing next year.
So can we ask them to specifically start this, the beginning of the new contract, to focus on
We can.
Opie Drive? So they can start going after it. And so what they'll do is they make the IRS aware of these businesses.
With Arizona Department of
And
Revenue.
they work for us, but we work with the Department of Revenue on the audit, so there's a lot of confidentiality that goes into that, a lot of confidentiality training on what information we can release. And I have worked with Cindy last year, making sure we're in compliance with all of that, so she's ready to go.
So can we as a city tell them who specifically, or do they just pick and choose? who
We
they
can,
want to
if
do?
there's a business that we know, I could forward that to
That
them.
we suspect.
Yeah,
Suspect.
suspect.
Any other questions regarding, because that was our conversation earlier.
And there's a big educational piece too, like this, so, her firm really, in working with the businesses, will educate them on how they collect the tax, how they can pass that on, to the consumers, those kind of things. So hopefully in the future, they don't get behind on taxes again.
And they can go after back taxes for like years.
I have a question.
Yes.
This firm that does this for us, I mean, we just listened to you on the Target 15. We don't ever get any documentation on them, what they're doing throughout the year. It's just like a one time a year, we're gonna pay them $18,000.
I get a monthly statement from them, but because, that's what I'm saying, because of the confidentiality laws, I can't forward you that information. I could just tell you basic information on what's collected.
But could you do that on a monthly thing or?
I get it on a monthly, but part of the confidentiality rules is you gotta lump sum those businesses, like businesses. So I just can't come out and say XYZ didn't pay taxes
No.
and we got $163,000 out of them. So I gotta take that information that we get. I could give you guys, hey, they audited 10 firms. This is what it's looking like. I could give you above the
So the numbers you
10,000
could give
foot
us,
view.
just not
Yes.
names.
Yes.
And
But
going
you
back,
could do that monthly.
Yes, I get the reports monthly, so
So that is something that
Mhm.
you could give us.
Yeah.
going back to a previous question where we talked about long stay hotels, you could use this firm to investigate into that, to make sure.
Yes.
Questions? Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for, let me read it. Resolution number 25-31. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Holbrook, Arizona, approving and authorizing the professional services contract between the City of Holbrook and the Aldridge Consulting LLC for the purposes of sales tax review and compliance services. Anybody read the rest?
No.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we pass resolution number 2531.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Nay.
Vice Mayor Nilsson,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack, Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tafoya,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, item number C for the clubhouse HVAC system. Here's the background. So city staff started remodeling the clubhouse, the golf course clubhouse. Staff discovered all the ductwork to be completely rusted through. Staff is recommending replacing the swamp cooler and the heater with a new HVAC system and new ductwork. Staff will do the demolition of some cost savings. This item was not budgeted. It is recommended that we expense this out of contingencies in administration budget. 3 quotes are provided from Rim Country Mechanical, Advanced Air Systems, and White Mountain Heating and Cooling. Staff recommends Rim Country Mechanical in the amount of $25,938. So, Manager Sullivan, if there's anything else you want to add to this background?
No, but we started redoing some of the bathrooms, and we were thinking we were just going to upgrade the swamp cooler and the heater. They're extremely old, and when we went to look at maybe repairing them, all that ductwork and everything's just completely shot. So it's an item that we were not expecting until we started tearing into it, and now we just want to make it right and do it right. So we went out and got quotes, and we recommend Rim Country. They've done business with us in the past and doing well. So.
Going back to our strategic goals, one of them was the golf course, clubhouse, things like that. And so I'm thankful that the remodel has started. And as anybody's done remodels, we know there's always issues that pop up. So I understand. So we're feeling pretty confident in that contingency budget. Are we going to need that contingency budget? Are we going to be in trouble near the end of the fiscal year?
No, we won't. We haven't spent anything out of that yet.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, concerns, discussion?
So is the Men's Association still helping with that remodel on the clubhouse?
They have been helping, but Michael Young and Bob Danner has done quite a bit of the work. They are going to help us do a lot of the demo, especially when we start the upstairs portion of it.
Okay, and so once we get the new HVAC and we get the whole thing remodeled and it's looking nice, are we gonna be able to maintain that so it doesn't ever get into the situation that it
Yeah,
was
it should be.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so does anybody have any questions about these invoices or about the expense? Okay, hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we approve the purchase of the HVAC unit from Rim Country Mechanical. Do you want the amount?
Does she need the amount? Yeah, go ahead.
For $25,938.
Motion, do we have a second? Second. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Item number D for the impeller assembly purchase. It says the city has two 100 horsepower pumps and motors that are used to boost water to the elevated tank. One of the pump impellers is worn out and needs replaced. James Cooks Hobson, JCH, is the Arizona certified dealer for Aurora pumps and motors and is under state contract. Staff recommends purchasing a new impeller assembly from JCH in the amount of $22,559.51. It says this was a budgeted item out of our water capital improvements fund. Manager Sullivan, any other?
No, these pumps are about 15 years old, so for the impellers to last this long is actually pretty impressive. About 5 years ago, I bought this impeller from JCH and redid one, so this would get the other one up and running again, and hopefully for another 15, 20 years.
So this is just for one?
This is for one. And it's a whole shaft assembly. So we have the pump, we have the motor, that's all good, but the shaft and the impeller is worn out, and that's what actually moves the water. So
How long is the shaft? Just
Isn't the shaft is the thing that
yeah, the
goes
shaft
down?
holds the impeller. It's about this wide. So and the impeller's 16 inches, I think.
Okay.
So
So how long ago did you replace the one?
yeah, about 5 years ago, us in the water department changed one of the main ones, and then this one was good. So this one's about 15 years old before we're replacing this one, and we alternate them. So
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we buy the impeller from, let's see, what was the name?
JCH.
JCH for the amount of $22,559.51.
I'll second it.
All right, and got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, thank you. All right, item E, the SCBA purchase. Says every year the fire department purchases new SCBA's to keep equipment updated. United Fire is under state contract and staff recommends the purchase of 6 new SCBA's in the amount of $59,811.67. This is a budgeted item. Manager Sullivan?
yeah, so for the last several years, we've been trying to buy new SCBA's and rotate them through the trucks. So this has been kind of a continued item in the budget. We have at least 6 CBAs per truck, and we have 4 or 5 trucks. So just doing this every year allows us to cycle through those, and most of those have about a 3 to 5 year life cycle on them. So to continue to do this just keeps us up to date on the equipment.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we approve the purchase of the 6 SCBA's from United Fire in the amount of $59,811.67.
Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, motion passes. Item number F, Calvary Chapel. So this one came to us from Calvary Chapel. They purchased the land west of the current church. So there's a little section in front of their property that is part of ADOT right-of-way. They're requesting that the city waive the 4-year right-of-way notification in this section. ADOT can then abandon this section of the right-of-way and provide a permit legally approved access. This was also done in the past when the church was purchased. Want to give us any more background on that?
Yeah, the only thing that I could gather about it is when I don't know if they realigned Hopi in '66, but when they did that, it created a bigger section than normal in the right of way in that area. And so ADOT has that as part of the right of way, but it's kind of no man's land. So when the church bought this several years ago, in order to get permitted to be a church and have that parking lot, the city had to waive the right for that section. So we, I guess it's just a notification process. So they bought the land farther west of this, and they're wanting to expand, and so they're asking us to do the same thing. This just helps them move the ADOT permitting process a lot faster instead of having a 4-year waiting period.
So is it that whole lot on the
It's
side
not the
of
whole
church?
lot, it's
section,
if you look on here, let's see, it's just, it's a little frontage piece to it.
Yeah, they weren't great.
Do you have a colored version of it?
No, we have
So it's
black and
this
white.
piece right here. So this line right here used to go all the way across. And when we waived that several years ago, they were able to expand that to what it is now. So right now, they bought this property, but then they have this little piece right here that is just kind of nowhere.
Looks like it's part of their property already.
Right, it does
Yeah,
look
so yeah,
like
it's
it should be their
Should be there,
property.
yeah.
It looks like it should be, but it's not. So that's the piece that we're asking to do.
This front little piece right here, is
Yes.
that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Are they planning on expanding their church?
That I don't know for sure, or but they're busy over there, so
Yeah.
at the least they need it for parking and
Okay.
egress and ingress. I would.
But they're already parking in that
They just want to be
area.
legal now.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, it's
So-
illegal to park there?
well, no, it's just they don't own it. ADOT does. So it's an ADOT easement. But basically it's an ADOT easement. And so like if I have my property there, I would just like to have ownership of that. That way if I want to ever go put a parking lot in there, then I'm putting my own parking
So
lot in there.
without them having this, they wouldn't be able to cement that and make it a,
Correct, it's not there, it's correct.
okay,
ADOT would be able to dictate,
What they do with it.
how they
Okay.
come into that property.
and it doesn't cost us anything
No,
to
no,
do
no.
this? Okay.
Oh, good question. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
Make a motion to the Calvary Chapel waiver.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
He raised his hand first, but she spoke out loud first, so it's your call.
I'll surprise you next meeting.
Yeah, there you go, like it, so. All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, item number 9, city council meetings. So, says, the City of Holbrook Charter Section 2.13A states, the council shall meet at least once a month. Special meetings may be called for in 2.14. Some council members have requested that the Holbrook City Council have a regular meeting on the second Wednesday of each month and work sessions as needed on the fourth Wednesday of each month. Special meetings can be scheduled upon need. So, part of this discussion was, we have a lot of work sessions. So, it'd be nice to designate that second night to do it. We know if we have extra work, there still might be a purchase that needs to be popped up and things like that. So we could still do a special meeting for that night, but what that does, it still makes it go faster, because then you wouldn't have the whole roll call, pledge of allegiance, consent agendas, things like that. You would just jump in, go to your new business or old business to approve it, and then you don't have the summaries and things like that. So it would be a faster meeting if we did it, and then we would go right to work session. And so for anybody that's nervous, like, hey, we still have a lot of work to do. I agree. But if we don't have it, I don't know. We've been throwing a lot at the council, and we still have, as we noticed tonight, we still have a long ways to go. So I'll open the floor to Councilwoman Tafoya for any comment as well.
So the second meeting we would not have to have one if it was necessary.
Correct.
If we didn't have a work session or anything like that, we would just have our first meeting.
Correct.
But then the second meeting, we could have a work session, and things that we hashed out in the work session could then go on the agenda for the first meeting of the month.
Correct.
I just have one little point of
Yeah.
clarification. Let's say that it was necessary for some reason for us to have a regular meeting fourth Wednesday. Could we have a regular meeting and a work session? I mean, is that still an option?
Would it have to be a
if we
special
pass
meeting
this?
or be a regular meeting? That's
Well-
a good Lisa question.
well,
so.
So you're talking not have one on the second Wednesday and have it on the
No,
fourth
no,
Wednesday?
like
No,
we
no.
had it on the second Wednesday, but something came up. Would we still have the option to have a regular meeting?
And I think that would be up to the council. A special meeting, like she was saying before, basically works as a meeting, but just without all the.
So, and I guess, so really in the special meeting, whatever agenda item would not be on there, we could just add that to that special meeting agenda item.
Okay.
And then
So,
have the
yeah.
work session.
Exactly, but we wouldn't have to put everything on there.
By law, we're required to have one meeting,
Yeah.
one regular meeting.
I think if we had to have 2 regular meetings in a month.
Yeah,
we
if
could,
the
so,
council wanted that, then.
Yeah, so.
So you could change it from
Yeah.
a work session to a regular meeting.
Yeah.
Correct, correct.
And not have a work session, just have a regular
Correct.
meeting if need be.
We're just saying it'd be an optional meeting.
Well, I feel like so much of the work has to be done in that kind of setting, in the work session. I mean, other than coming here and just approving budgeted items, work sessions to me are actually imperative to us accomplishing anything, so I would be supportive of it.
Me too, me too.
Me too.
So I have a question. So joining the city council, we're required to have at least one meeting.
Correct.
Work sessions are not a required attendance. These meetings are, work sessions aren't.
I don't know. It would still be an expectation. I'm not sure where that is. That's a good question. I would hope that everybody would still take that role and responsibility, because that's, like Councilwoman Ferguson said, this is when the real discussions happen and, the real thoughts and the ideas go back and forth, so.
Well, the problem with that is your ideas go back and forth, but you get nothing accomplished on a work session that you can't pass before you have to have the next regular meeting. So that meeting is going to go longer because of stuff you discussed in the work session.
Yeah, work sessions are typically longer, so.
So what did we just accomplish?
Well, you accomplish not having a regular meeting and then a work session on top of it. So that's what you accomplish. So. All right, any other further questions, comments? Okay, with that, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the revised current schedule.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Councilwoman Pack's gotta go, so I'm gonna turn the time over for you for a minute for any quick summary.
No?
Okay, so I know you need to go. We got family, so. Actually, before you leave real fast, and we'll do it one more time, just to clarify too, I know we get a lot of questions sometimes on the agendas, and, we do follow, legally, we have to follow open meeting laws and things like that. So I researched again, and we have this, and all of us have received these, Anatomy of a Council Meeting, so it's a great reminder of kind of our roles and responsibilities in a meeting. When we get to the summary of current events, I know that's always kind of a, okay, what is that? So from this publication, from the Leagues of City and Towns, just for everybody's clarification, it says, Mayor and Council reports, summary of current events. It says the mayor or members of the council may report on current events. The council will not discuss or take any action on any current event summary. And then it says the city town manager report, summary of current events. The city town manager will report on current events. The council will not discuss or take action on this report, but questions from members of the council may be addressed to the manager for information or clarification. So that just is a good reminder of what this section is, and we've got new people, and it's always a good reminder for the rest of us. So, do you need to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Really appreciate it. So I'll send you my summary. It's long. It's like another 10 minutes. I got a lot. I know, sorry. All right. As I started writing them down, there's a lot.
So do I.
It's all right. So we'll go next.
I probably won't have to.
All right.
Do you
So,
have yours written down?
kind of.
Oh.
I'll send it to you. I've got it in my notes. First off, maybe you guys have seen there is a vacancy now on the Planning and Zoning Commission. It is a volunteer position to finish the term of Buddy Dupay. They would finish up till next December. Sorry, is that correct? Is it next
Until
December?
November the 15th of 2027.
So, 27, so 2 years. If you are interested, submit a letter of interest to the city clerk by, was it noon on November 5th, I believe it was, I didn't write it down.
Yeah,
November 5th at noon. So,
Are there any qualifications?
there is a few qualifications, but it's mostly being a citizen. They appreciate any qualified applicants that maybe have some experience in
I have a
planning and
recommendation.
zoning, so have them send a letter of interest in. What'll happen is that position is appointed by the mayor with the consent of the council, is how these commissions are appointed. So any qualified applicants, we'll have that for the next meeting, so. All right, and then next, Randy and I had a sit down with a representative from Invenergy. They're one of the solar energy plants here. We talked to him about some complaints that we had about people saying that the trucks were going too fast and speeding. She emailed me this morning saying, hey, they've talked to their crew, said they will slow down, and if we hear of anybody speeding, they said write down their license plate. And they said they will address it. They want to know when things like that are going on. Anyways, she's a great representative. If anybody has any questions or concerns about what's going on there, let me know and we can get you hooked up with their representative. They can answer some of your concerns there too. I want to do a big thank you. Councilwoman Pat just left, but Mayor, the former mayor of Mesa, John Giles, is working with Local First, which is a big nonprofit here, doing a Lunch with the Mayor series, a video series. They've done about 4 of them so far. They come and we highlight one of the restaurants in town, and then they highlight some of the Holbrook. 2 weeks ago, he said, hey, we'd like to come to Holbrook. We said, all right, let's do it. So we were able to sit down up at Studio 66, and we want to thank Katrina Jaime. She had to shut down her business for an hour or so to make sure the filming was done well, but we were at Bombs and Jim Gray's, and they took pictures of the Blevins house and Bucket of Blood. They took a bunch of photos throughout the courthouse, and their producer, well, they said they'll find the stories, right? And so it'll be interesting to see what they have, but it's the last few videos they've done are like 15-20 minutes, and it'll be a good marketing video. So we appreciate them coming and those citizens that jumped in to get on camera. So I also want to do a big thank you to Kelly and Steve Spangler, and also Walker Gonzalez, and also Mr. Sullivan. Their great work on getting these veterans banners going. Randy will probably be talking about it a little bit in his summary, but I just want to say a big thank you. And to Misty, I know you were a big help as well. It's a great project, and we had a great response, more than I thought we would. And so, but thank you guys for your work on that too. So also, we want to invite everybody to the Holbrook School District's 16th annual Walk With Me to Be Drug Free Walk. It'll be next Wednesday, October 29th, beginning at 7:30 at the old courthouse, and then they walk to school, which is kind of fun. So I know Councilwoman Tafoya does it every year. So Halloween events, there's a lot of those. I'm hoping some of you guys cover those because I didn't know all of them. So I figured between a couple of you council members, we'll get them all. I got a message from a citizen, and I'm going to read his message. He said, kudos to the street crews for keeping the streets clean. He said, Wyatt in the street sweeper, he goes, I saw him sweeping this area. I stopped him and asked him if my street was on his route for the day, because it really needed it. He said he'd come by, and he did, and he did a fantastic job. Hats off to Wyatt. So that's from one of our citizens, so I appreciate that. So, a couple other things. There's a community project Keep Warm Coat giveaway, October 25th through 2025. They're going to be dispersing coats, jackets, sweats, hat, glove, things like that. It's at the Navajo County Fair and Rodeo from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. while supplies last. Sponsored by the Fishers of Man for Veterans, the Navajo County Fair and Rodeo, and the North Country Healthcare. We also have this Navajo County Stand Down is supporting our veterans on Friday, October 24th to 2025 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're at 404 East Hopi Drive, where they'll salute veterans. Says the following services will be available to veterans, so there's going to be a lot of different vet services. So if you want to know about different vet services that are available, they'll have that. They'll have Veterans Court, Veterans Benefit Services, Community Services, things like that. So we'll have this flyer here at City Hall for anybody that wants to take a look at that. Again, that is on Friday, October 24th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just for matter of fact, for the council and also any citizens, for November and December, even despite our vote, we were only having one meeting in November because our second meeting would have been Thanksgiving Eve, and the one in December would have been Christmas Eve. And we know Santa doesn't stop by City Hall. So, and the last thing, the second to the last thing, just so you know, most people probably have received a ballot. We do have an election going on. So ballots have been mailed to all registered voters in the city of Holbrook. And what this ballot is, this is the Charter Review Committee's work and all the recommendations. There's 10 different recommendations from the Charter Review Committee to make those amendments. So we encourage everybody to get out and vote. This was, like we said, it was a citizen-driven committee, and they did a fantastic job. Put a lot of hours into it, a lot of work. So, so you can either mail your ballot before October 24th, or you can drop it off through November 4th at City Hall, or the ballot box outside of the Justice Court at 121 West Buffalo Street. If you did not receive your ballot, but you are a registered voter in the city of Holbrook, you can vote at one of the early vote locations, either City Hall or Navajo County elections. The deadline to vote is November 4th. And last but not least, we want to say happy birthday to Vice Mayor Nelson. It's coming up in just a few days.
Well, thank you.
We won't ask you how old you are. Happy birthday.
I'm 111.
111. You look good. So, all right, with that, we'll turn the time over to Councilwoman Tafoya.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
And there is a lot going on this month. Right now, the scarecrow contest down at Hunt Park, I think there was 8 or 9 scarecrows. How many is there, 9?
There were 9 people signed up, but there were only 8 that were put up.
8 put up. And so they're getting it up on the somewhere so people can vote, but you need to drive through and look at them. I mean, there's
They're cute.
really good scarecrows out there. Saturday the 25th, the Halloween parade, Ween parade and costume contest is at 10 o'clock. I believe that's down at the courthouse. And then also on that day, they're gonna have a fall deep cleaning at the animal shelter starting at 9 o'clock. And they've said that they need as much help as they can to clean up there. The 29th, the sheriff's office is having a trunk or treat from 5 to 6:30. The 30th, high school student council is doing their trunk or treat at the fairgrounds. That starts at 7. And also on that same night from 6 to 9, they're doing the Halloween Fright Night at the old courthouse and are looking for vendors and people like that to set them down.
Right?
The 30th, those are both on the 30th. The 31st, they're doing the Spooktacular at the fairgrounds from 6 to 8 in the evening. They used to, a couple of years ago, they did it during the day, and then they had trick-or-treating at nighttime. So I like that they went back to doing it on Halloween night to try to keep the kids off the streets so much. And then the Eagle Fest up at MPC on the 24th from 3 to 6. And there's probably more going on, but that's all I could find
There's
right
a
now.
lot, too.
So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. But
That's great. So, all right, Vice Mayor Nelson, beat that. Just kidding.
oh, I forgot Bonko.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So November 8th, the Senior Citizen Center in Bunko. Everyone won't be there. So you'll all have a lot better chance of winning. Because she's a Bunko master. And that money from that event goes to pay for Christmas boxes that we give out at the food bank. This year we're gonna spend $14,700 to give out 130 boxes. Every year our boxes get smaller and cost more. We expect that it'll cost about $105. Taking applications, we started the 1st of October. We've taken about 60, and so we're about halfway there, but when we're at 130, then we're done. Just because that's how much money we've budgeted. So if you know somebody who would need a Christmas food box, please have them go down to the food bank noon to 2, Monday through Friday. I wanted to do a shout out also to, and to pick them up, it's going to be December 20th, which is the Saturday before Christmas, from 9 till 11. If you want to help us put together, I know Robin's helped us before, put together the boxes. We start at 7 in the morning till 9, and then we pass them out from 9 till 11 or noon usually. Anyway, I wanted to do a shout out to Walker Gonzalez. Now, I'm not a social media person, but I joined one of those, especially just to look at those that he's doing because they're so great. Not Snapchat, what's the other one? Not Facebook.
Instagram?
Instagram. I joined Instagram. And I'm not very much into that, but I think those are so great. What a wonderful way to represent our town. Anyway, and then thanks for mentioning all the trunk or treats, but the elections are so important. We've done all this work. We've done all this work to stick in our charter and to make our elections legal and fair, and people need to vote yes on every single one of those items on that ballot and turn them in so that we can continue on. And that's all I had.
Thank you, appreciate that. Councilman Black?
I don't have that much other than I've had some citizens ask me about the water treatment bond that expired in 2020. Why are we still collecting that % sales tax? That's equivalent to about $1.2 million a year. And I just want to let them know I haven't forgotten. And I have a question also. So I have gathered all this information. The city charged me $58 for that. Is that customary?
For the cop.
So
It was for 25 cents per copy.
that is customary.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm doing this for the citizens that want to know about this. I mean, I hate it. But I don't think I should be charged that if I'm looking at stuff that the citizens want me to investigate. And I'm not liking what I'm finding in that, but I'll keep going. We'll keep looking.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Councilwoman Ferguson?
It's hard to go last after everything that you guys have all said, which is almost everything. But I guess the one additional thing I will mention is that, not to be competitive, but the Navajo Family Advocacy Center is also running a coat drive, and that we provide to victims, minor victims of child abuse cases, and we distribute that throughout the county. But if you have more than one coat, or you want to provide, we're looking for brand new coats or very gently used coats to donate to the Navajo County Family Advocacy Center. We're in the same building as the Holbrook Justice Court, 121 West Buffalo Street, but we're facing the road. So, yep, that's the only other thing I can think to add.
Oh, that's great.
Can I ask a point of clarification?
Sure.
Are you looking for children's coats or
Yes, children's coats.
children's coats?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. All right, Manager Sullivan.
Yeah, thank you. Bathrooms at hole number 4, that was a big remodel out at the golf course. We wanted to get those completed before we started the clubhouse. So those are up and running. We had a big event last week on the cross-country event, and so they were able to use those as well. And then we're going to start that house remodel really soon. We think we have enough tile from some of our other jobs City Hall and the police department, that we probably won't have to purchase extra material for that. So let's, depending on how much we dig into it. The water station for well 4 has been ordered, so we're looking at that to be delivered sometime in January. So we'll be able to install that. That one will be a lot easier install than what we currently have, because we'll be able to tie it directly into the well. The station that we have now is completely installed, so staff will have some trainings on it next week, and we can hopefully start directing all the customers out there once we figure that whole system. Once that does happen, we will shut this off down here and winterize this. This week, we had the audit. That went well, so they got done. They're usually here for a week. They were here 2 days. So I want to reach out to staff and thank them. They helped me out a lot, pulling invoices and that kind of stuff. So it went about as well as it ever has been. So we are going to follow up with Walker on the survey for the scarecrows. So it will be online, probably on our website and on our other social media things. I wanted the council and the public to know, when we did trade in for that motor grader, our old one, they actually gave us a higher value than what we originally did. So that's going to be $151,000 instead of $155,000. I think little wins like that are pretty big for the public. Grass is coming at the new ball field. I think it's pretty cool when you drive up there. You'll see all that grass. It didn't come in as quite as well as I thought. Hopefully it still grows. So we probably will need to do another seed in the early spring. But as of right now, you can see the green, and I think it looks really well. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is that bond that was paid off in 2020. It may not have been what the council intended to do in 1998, but future councils or prior councils can't restrict what future councils intend to do with those ordinances. So ordinances are always allowable to be changed. Back in 2020, when that bond was paid off, that 1% was supposed to be sunsetted, but at that time, that council adopted another ordinance to keep that going. So that's why we continue to collect that.
Anything else? Good. All right. All right, item number 11, submission of written petition for items not on the agenda. All right, thank you. With that, we'll open the floor for an adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A motion? Second?
I'll second it.
You got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes at 7:07.
Okay, is that all?
Go there now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So Robert, Roxanne, and Mike, Terry had something really fast to tell you.
The men's association that's working out the golf course wants to do a dinner, a thank you dinner for the council. And so they want to do it Thursday, November 6th from 4 to 6. So you just let me know if you'll be able to go, because I think I'd like to give them a SVP of how many are going, so they know how much food and stuff
And
to
you'll get that date to
prepare.
Lisa so she can do the,
So November 6th,
From 4 to 6 at the golf course, and they're having it out there so that you can come and see it and that type of thing.
So-
And
Is there a flyer or?
so are youth center dedications on
correct.
for that day?
Yeah, the Well Point people couldn't make it. United
How come
Way
you
really
didn't
wants the
bring up
governor to
the
come.
golf thing? I forgot about that too.
November 6th, and what was it? I wasn't listening.
It's a thank you dinner from the men's association that's been working on the golf course to this council.
So I find ordinance and resolutions.
November
Terry, I can make it.
I'll do it.
You can make it?
So we've gotta get some kind
Okay.
of business.
I think I can too. I was gonna go to
Yeah.
a youth certification.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, she said about the business next time.
Oh, you're right.
You